Shakespeare wrote about the high and palmy state of Rome. And the Eternal City is not only one of the most thrilling and beautiful places in the world, it's a city of tremendous contrasts. On one side, you have the high society, the dolce vita, anything for kicks set. In short, the rich. People with so much money, they hardly know what to do with it. And on the other side, you have the poor. People with no future, no hope, and most of all, no money. People so poor, they have to beg. Like him.
He's dead.
Did anyone see this?
Yes, I did. It was an accident. He was crossing the road and the blue Mercedes with the number plates covered up just came and hit him.
You mean it was deliberate?
Yes.
And your name, senor?
Simon Templar. Signora.
Lo devuole, signore?
Niente, così.
Oh, grazie, signore.
Mr. Simon Templar.
Marco de Cesare, come stai? Sta bene?
I am magnificent. And how are you?
Oh, Marco, it took you long enough to find me.
Well, as soon as I get the word that you are in Rome, boom, I drop everything. Phew. Mr. Templar, my taxi, my life are at your disposal.
How much?
Well, the taxi for the normal rides. My life is for nothing.
But before you die for me, Marco, what about something to drink?
Oh, thank you.
Santa,
A whiskey, a soda, large.
a coffee, small.
Thank you. So, how long have you been in Rome?
I arrived a week ago yesterday.
So, you've been here a week already, huh? But you don't get in touch with your old friend, Marco di Cesare. Oh, no, you're too busy. You're too busy with the pretty girls, huh? La dolce vita.
As a matter of fact, Marco, I've been sitting at this table for the last week.
What's the matter? You sick?
No, Marco, I'm not sick. I'm wondering why an old blind beggar, harmless old man, should be run down deliberately.
Deliberately?
It was murder. I saw it happen. His name was Pietro Mancinelli. He was run down by two men in a Mercedes. The number plates were covered. Now I'm wondering why.
Well, these beggars, signore, I mean, Rome is full of them. They are what you call bumps.
Bums.
It's what I say, bumps. You know, men who want something for nothing.
Curious.
What are you curious?
About her. I'm wondering why she never works in the evenings.
So maybe she get tired.
No, Marco. Beggars don't get tired at the profitable hours. It's the after dinner and the movie and the theater crowds that really pay off.
So you want to be a beggar, huh? You want to be a beggar, you got to pay protection, understand?
Signore, please.
You heard of the Beggars Protection Association?
No.
Where the head man is king of the beggars.
Get off, Marco. Aspetta, signore, per favore. Aspetta, signore, per favore, non c'è fretta. Io arrivo a parlare.
My congratulations. It was a marvelous performance. You almost had me fooled for a moment.
Who are you?
Simon Templar. No. Where should we talk? My place or yours?
Mr. Templar, I do not understand. This beggar woman, she lives here? It's the finest apartment in Rome. Hey, I am in the wrong business.
Didn't you recognize her?
No?
Teresa Montagna.
The moving picture actress? The film star? Impossible.
Small is the worth of beauty from the light retired. Better come forth.
Suffer herself to be admired.
Yes.
I'm beginning to understand the reason for your reputation, Mr. Templar. Oh, won't you sit down?
Thank you.
How did you know who I was?
I saw you on the street, and I wondered why a beggar woman wouldn't be working in the evenings. I went to the theater and saw your play. You wore the beggar outfit in the last act.
You're very clever.
Signorina Montagna, you're...
Thank you. Want to get yourself a drink?
I think yes. Thank you.
Now, why don't you tell me all about this from the beginning?
I, how do you say? Set a trap with myself as the bait. I got in over my depth.
How did it start?
A friend of mine, Pietro Mancinelli, he was a character actor. He lost his sight and began to drink heavily. One thing led to another, and at last he became a beggar. Last week he had an accident.
It was run over.
You knew.
I saw it happen.
Did you see who was driving the car?
No.
Signore, who is behind all this?
Have you ever heard of the King of the Beggars?
That was said to me today. But who? Who is he?
What else was said today?
This man asked if I ever heard of the Beggars Protection Association, that the King of the Beggars was the head of it.
Miss Montagna, having seen your play, I must admit you're awfully good in the role. But I hardly think you're right for the real-life part.
Meaning you want the leading role for yourself?
Meaning I'm a little more used to dealing with the ungodly than you are.
He's absolutely right, Signorina.
What do you propose to do?
For a start, I'll do a little begging myself. Arrivederla.
Arrivederci.
Marco, your meter's run.
For 3 days now, you are a street beggar. And what happened? Nothing.
What do you mean, nothing, Marco? I sold a pencil yesterday, didn't I?
Big deal.
Anyway, what are you grumbling about? You being paid?
Paid? And what about my overheads? You have no idea how much petrol I use looking for these clothes for you.
You must have done an awful lot of looking since the suit has your name in it.
Yes. Well, it belonged to my uncle, Marco de Cesare I. I bought the suit from him for 15,000 lire.
15,000 lire? Oh, brother, does your uncle have a sense of humor?
Well, I'll let you have it for 10,000 lire, 5?
2.
2? I don't know why I bother with all this. I do not even believe in this King of the Beggars. It's all too fantastico.
I know it's fantastic, Marco, and it's straight out of Francois Villon. But it's here today in Rome. And it's as coldly evil as a leveled gun barrel. Now, how do I look?
Terrible. Even more terrible than you looked yesterday.
Good. Now remember, Marco, you're to do nothing until you see my signal.
Please, Mr. Templar, don't worry. I don't forget a thing, Now, let's go.
Marco, you forgot your cap.
Fate la carità.
Grazie.
Fate la carità per un povero cieco. Fate la carità.
Si, signora.
I haven't seen you here before.
No, signora, I'm new.
And where are you from?
De Milano.
Well, good luck to you.
Grazie, signore. Grazie, signore, benedico.
Hey, look
Drink, dear?
Ah, yes, thank you. A sherry. You have been very thoughtful, Stephen.
I was thinking about that poor devil outside the cafe today.
But why?
Oh, it makes me feel ashamed.
Ashamed.
Guilty is probably a better word. You know, it's wrong, Dolores, that we live like this. I drive a $20,000 car, and we've got all this.
Well?
We spent enough on lunch today to probably keep that poor devil eating for a month.
And you think in all conscience I should now have indigestion? Oh, come now, Stephen.
Dolores, I'm serious. It's wrong that some people should have so much and others have to beg for it.
Ah, yes, I know, Stephen, but in Italy, there are always the poor people. You know, that man we saw today, outside the cafe, suppose you were to offer him a job. Oh, I don't know, washing the streets, cleaning the windows. I am sure he would not take it.
How can you be so sure?
Because there are always some people who will try to get something for nothing rather than have to work for it.
But they're not all like this.
No, that's true.
And I'm interested in the deserving ones.
Yes, I know, but Stephen, you are too sensitive.
Gave away over $1 million last year without any visible effects.
Ah, yes, but even if you cannot see it, I know that there are a great many people to whom you have done a lot of good. And you know that man we saw today? In his own way, he's probably quite happy just the way he is. Just begging.
I wonder.
Roba per vendere. Roba per vendere. Roba per vendere. Chi compra? Chi compra?
Mr. Templar, it's nearly midnight.
So what?
So I'm very tired. That's the so what?
So you're getting paid, aren't you? Come on, go beat it. Buy a pencil from a blind man. Buy a pencil from a blind man.
I haven't seen you here before, amigo.
No, signore, I'm new. There was another man, but he died.
You know why he died?
No, signore.
He wasn't smart, see? Maybe you're smart. You think so?
Si, signore.
You heard of the Beggars Protection Association?
No, signore.
It's a society organized to protect people like yourself. You want to join?
No, signore.
The guy that had this pitch before you, he didn't want to join either. If the king of the beggars is on your side, you're okay. If he's against you, you've had it. You want to join?
Si, signore.
I thought you would. Right. I fix it for you now. You know, Carlo, I think this guy's gonna be a smart apple.
But the wire blindfold, signore, I cannot see.
Hear that, Carlo?
Yeah, he's a blind, poor guy.
But it is true, signore.
Save it for the police, huh? We don't care whether you're blind or not. A guy has the right to make a living. We don't make any stink about handing out licenses. You can pretend to be anything you like. Just so long as you don't try anything tricky with us, huh?
Signore, I do not understand all this.
Well, friend, I will tell you. The Beggars Protection Association is a kind of, well, a lodge, see? A brotherhood. And tonight you're going to be introduced and sworn in. Carlo, relax.
Welcome to our association, an organization designed to help you and protect you. In return for protection, you will turn in 1/2 of your daily take to Maria Calvetti at the Albergo Capitale, where you will be given decent lodgings at a nominal price. Maria will be your contact and will supply you with all information. You will be watched constantly, so don't try any cheating. If you have any questions, Catelli, who brought you here, will answer them.
Any questions, amico?
No, signore. No questions.
Right. We take you back to your beat, huh? You understand everything?
Si, signore.
What is your name?
Arturo.
Okay, Arturo. You turn in half your take every day to Maria at the Albergo Capitale.
Si, signore, but it is not fair.
Hear that, Carlo? What we do for guys that argue, huh?
Show him.
We do that first. And after a lot worse. Half your takes every day to Maria Calverti. Otherwise, you might find your teeth pulled out. Or maybe your fingers broken. Understand?
Si, I understand.
Taxi! Oh, Mr. Templar. Mr. Templar, are you all right?
I'm all right, Marco, except for an urge to commit murder.
Well, what did you find out?
You ever heard of the Albergo Capitale?
Oh, yes. It's famous in Rome.
I want you to go down to the city records office in the morning and find out who owns it.
But I know who owns it.
Who?
Stephen Elliott. Mr. Templar, this could be very dangerous.
Sure.
But why do we have to go back to this place tonight? Why can't we go tomorrow morning?
What's the matter, Marco? Can't you find it in the dark?
What are you saying? I know Rome like the back of my hand.
And we have no problems, do we?
Well, if you ask me, it's a matter for the police.
Marco, I am not asking you. What's the matter, you chicken?
Me? Marco de Cesare? Well, any man who works for Simon Templar, he must be idiot.
Allora, andiamo, idiot.
Huh?
Welcome to our association, an organization designed to help you and protect you. In return for...
Looking for somebody?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I am.
Who, for instance?
For instance, the king of the beggars.
The king. You're kidding.
No, I'm deadly serious. Well, I know the atmosphere is not exactly conducive to a quiet, cozy little chat. But I suggest we do a trade. I'm willing to give you 200,000. Now, stop talking. What's your name?
Carlo.
Carlo what?
Carlo Leghetti.
Well, Carlo Spaghetti, the atmosphere's changed, hasn't it? It's now quite right for that cozy little chat.
I don't know anything. Honest, I have done nothing.
The offer stands at your life.
If you kill me, then you learn nothing at all.
He's right. I got a better idea. Once I see this moving picture at the Fiumetta, there is this guy. He's just like him, only more ugly. And he won't talk, huh? So what do they do? What do they do? They stuff up his ears, and then they stuff up his nose. And into the mouth, they put this tube from the machine for blowing up the tires. And they pump him up, and he gets bigger, and bigger, and bigger, just like a balloon.
So what happened?
He went off bang. It's very messy.
Very funny, Marco. Oh, you don't think so? You're not laughing.
Hey, look what I got. I always carry for an emergency, huh? So this is an emergency, no? Mm-hmm. Okay. Open wide. You see? There's a bad one. Got to come out.
Marco, get your hands out of his mouth. He never talked that way.
You don't like? All right. I give him a manicure. What's the matter? I haven't touched you yet.
Who's the king of the beggars?
I don't know. I've never seen him.
Is it Stephen Elliott?
I swear to you, I don't know. I'm only the collector.
Do you believe him, Marco?
No.
I swear it.
What do you collect?
I collect the beggars.
If they don't want to go with you?
We convince them.
By beating them up.
Yes.
And supposing they're women?
What difference does that make?
To you none, I suppose. Now tell me about Maria Calvetti.
Maria Calvetti is...
Drop that gun. You're under arrest.
Signor Templar, I'm aware that several beggars have been attacked during the past few months. We are working on the case.
And what exactly have you accomplished?
That is none of your affair.
Oh, but I intend to make it my affair.
Then you will regret it.
Inspector, why don't we cut out the chat? Am I being charged with anything or not?
No. The bullet that killed Carlo Leghetti did not come from your gun. This we have established. You may go. You know, Signore, you make it very difficult for us to be friends.
Inspector, I am on the track of something. But I'm afraid if I talk about it, the king, whoever he is, will go underground. But the minute I do find out something definite, I'll be back, I promise. Buonanotte, Ispettore.
Buonanotte, signore.
Could have been anybody. Right now, I'm thinking of Stephen Elliott.
What did you say?
Stephen Elliott.
You're not serious.
Why not? He owns the Albergo Capitale. That's where the beggars report, sleep, and pay off.
But Stephen is a rich man.
What difference does that make?
He's famous in Rome for his charities and philanthropies.
Sometimes I suspect charitable people.
I don't believe it. Stephen Elliott is also a personal friend of mine. Well, when my play needed backing, I simply had to go to him, and presto, the money was provided.
Well, I'd like to meet him.
I can arrange that. He's giving a cocktail party this very afternoon. Come with me.
Fine. I'll pick you up at 6,
Good. Simon,
Hmm?
I hope you're wrong. Stephen is such a good man.
Appearances can be deceptive.
Yes, I know. So are people.
You don't seem very complicated.
Oh, but I am. My mother was Hungarian.
So?
You know what they say?
No, tell me.
A Hungarian will follow you into a revolving door and come out first.
I must go. Thanks for the coffee.
Good. See anything interesting?
Oh, only the standard ingredients. Men about town, wives, mistresses, and prospectives.
Oh, Dolores.
Teresa, darling, I'm so happy you could come.
Thank you. May I present Mr. Simon Templar, the Countess Dolores Marcella.
Contessa?
Not the Simon Templar, the saint?
I'm afraid so.
Oh, Stephen, darling, we've captured a real celebrity.
Stephen, how nice to see you.
May I present Mr. Simon Templar, Mr. Stephen Elliot?
How do you do, sir? Nice meeting. Nice to see you.
Darling, where in the world did you find him?
I saw Signorina Montagna's play, and I went backstage and introduced myself.
Are you in Rome for long, Mr. Templar?
That depends.
You must dine with us one night.
I'd love to.
Cheers.
To crime.
That's an odd toast for you, Mr. Templar. I thought you'd changed sides.
I have. In fact, I'm resolutely against the ungodly now. Mr. Elliot, I'm working on a problem which might be of some interest to you.
Really?
Mr. Templar, I have a feeling that we have met somewhere before.
I'm sure we haven't, Contessa. After all, meeting you is an experience a man would never forget.
I never forget a face, though I have a terrible memory for names.
You were saying you had a problem, Mr. Templar.
Yes, in view of the work I understand you do for the poor of Rome, I wondered whether you'd ever heard of a mysterious character called the King of the Beggars.
Indeed, I have.
Who is he?
All I know is that he preys on the poor and is connected some way with the mafia. His identity? It's a secret known to only one or two people.
Would you like to help me expose him?
Surely that's a job for the police, Mr. Templar.
I've got it. You were the blind beggar.
I beg your pardon?
The one we saw outside the cafe yesterday. You remember, you were with me. We talked with him.
Impossible.
You said you came from Milano.
You're quite right, Contessa. I was supposed to be incognito.
How fascinating. But why?
He was trying to get information.
About the King of the Beggars.
And you posed as a beggar.
Not very successfully, it would appear.
Oh, nonsense. You were marvelous.
Is this wise? I should hate to see anything happen to you, Mr. Templar, and from what I understand, the King of the Beggars is pretty ruthless.
I hate to spoil the party, but I have to get to the theater.
Of course, my dear.
Now, I'd like to ask a great favor of you.
Go ahead.
You may know that I own Albergo Capitale. It's a modest place where I give clean rooms with cheap, wholesome food. Tomorrow night, I'm giving them a little party, and I wondered if you'd come along and say a few words to them.
Oh, I'd love to.
Well, then, we'll see you tomorrow night after dinner.
Mr. Elliot?
Thank you.
Contessa?
Buonasera.
Right.
You're quite a chess enthusiast. 2 sets, one here, one at the apartment.
Every spare minute I have, I study my next move.
I wish I knew my next move. A racket's being run under Elliot's nose, and you still insist he knows nothing about it.
You don't know Stephen Elliot. He's a dreamer, a visionary. Men like that are often the very last to recognize evil, however close it is.
Does he play chess?
What has that to do with it?
Oh, just a crazy idea, hardly worth mentioning. Queen's in a nice position. It's Black's move, huh?
Yes. Stephen's a good player. I have to work hard to keep up with him.
I'm keeping you from getting ready.
Simon, if what you say about Stephen Elliot is true, by going to the Albergo Capitale, like putting your head into a noose.
You may be right, but they probably don't know what size collar I take.
5 minutes, Miss Montagna.
I'll call you later, huh?
Good night, Simon.
Night.
Taxi, sir?
Sonny me, Marco.
Oh,
Oh, Mr. Templar, I'm having a terrible dream, and now you have spoiled it.
It was so terrible. How could I spoil it?
Well, I have been captured by a band of desperate women. They threaten to kill me if I do not do what they say.
So, what happened?
Why, I'd agreed, of course. But we don't get time to get started. You waking me up. Hey, you're very late.
I took Miss Montagna to the theater.
Oh, so we go to work, huh?
No, Marco, I'm operating solo tonight.
Oh, just when I get used to it.
Used to what?
The excitement, the shooting, the police.
You'll get plenty of that, I promise you.
That's what I'm afraid you're going to say.
Maria, something is very wrong.
Well, that is nothing new.
You heard of Teresa Montagna?
The actress? Who hasn't?
I tell you, huh?
Per favore, albergo capitale.
Hello, Toro. You finally got here, huh?
Si, signore.
We were expecting you last night.
I had to pay the rent in advance at a place I could not afford to waste it.
Marie, this is Arturo. Show him his room.
Say, you come with me, huh? This is your room. The bathroom is down the hall. If you want anything, just ask.
Grazie, signore.
What is your name again?
Arturo.
Perhaps you would like something hot to drink? Chocolate or tea?
Cioccolato, per favore, signora.
See. You'll like it here. We have lots of company. Sometimes we have concerts and entertainment. Tomorrow night we have concert as well. The food is not bad. Fridays we have movies. Of course, that is not much good to you being blind, unless you want to see the soundtrack instead of seeing the pictures. Sleep tight, Mr. Templar.
Just the one sound, Miss Montagna. And you've had it.
Who are you?
Never mind the questions. Hurry up and get changed and keep quiet. I'm warning you.
Miss Montagna.
Come in.
I'm warning you.
Miss Montagna, understudy rehearsal 11 o'clock tomorrow morning.
All right, Nicky. Good night.
That was very smart of you. Now get ready. Quick.
Miss Montagna, I don't get any particular thrill out of seeing you frightened. This is a big operation.
I swear to you, I know nothing.
The king doesn't believe that.
I can't help it.
How much did Pietro tell you?
He told me nothing.
Do you know who the king is?
No.
Mr. Temple?
No, please let me go.
You know, Dolores, the busier people are and the more important, the more ready they are to help others. For Mr. Templar to come to the Albergo Capitale tonight moves me deeply.
But, darling, he is glad to.
But why?
Because of you.
Oh.
Stephen, Simon Templar, what do you really think of him?
Oh, he seems quite pleasant.
But you are not sure.
I don't altogether like people who take the law into their own hands. I think that's a matter for the police.
But suppose the police don't do anything?
I don't think it's the work of the ordinary citizen to.
No, I suppose not. Tell me, do you really think that the king of the beggars is somehow connected with the mafia?
So they say.
It's odd that you should know so little about him.
Why should I?
Well, after all, you work with these people. Well, surely you have talked with them.
Yes, I've talked to them a great deal.
And not one of them has ever dropped a hint as to who this man should be?
No, never.
Have you ever questioned them?
Of course. They all seem afraid to talk. Dolores, what are you getting at?
I'm not getting at anything. But it seems to me of all the people in Rome, you should know something about this man.
Senor Templar, I do not understand Miss Montagna. She is never late for rehearsal.
What time was she due here?
11 o'clock. Already, she's 2 hours late.
Did she know about it?
Yes, after the performance last night, I tell her.
What'd she say?
She said to me, all right, Nikki, good night. She is with a friend.
A friend?
Yes, a gentleman.
What did he look like?
He's about 6 foot tall. He's broad shoulders and a big mouth with long hair.
I wonder what happened to the White Queen.
Pardon?
You touch this.
Yes, no. Not me, I never touch.
Grazie tanto, eh?
Miss Montagna, don't get rough with me. I can knock you right through the wall.
Who are you? Why am I here?
The point is you are here, and here you are going to stay. And we have ways of keeping people quiet.
Drink it.
I don't want it. Take it away.
Miss Montagna, you're going to drink it?
No. Inspector, you asked for my cooperation. Now I'm offering it to you.
Senor Templar, why?
They are holding Teresa Montagna, and I'm going to find her if I have to tear that hotel apart stone by stone. I am asking you to be there tonight.
Very well, senor, I will be there. I hope for your sake you are not wasting my time.
Everything quite clear, Marco?
Yes, Mr. Temple. Quite clear.
Better hold on to this.
Hey, it's gone.
It's very observant. Now, watch the road.
But I do not know what to do with the gun.
It's quite simple, really, Marco. You just hold it in your hand, you point it to somebody, and you pull the trigger.
You know, Mr. Temple, sometimes I wish I had never met you. In other times, I still wish I'd never met you.
Well, I'm here.
And I think I can promise you a fascinating evening.
That's why you insist I meet you?
No, as a matter of fact, I'm performing tonight, and I need you for moral support.
Good evening, Mr. Templar.
Elliot?
Have you talked to Teresa recently?
No. Why?
The Contessa and I've been trying to call her all day.
Well, where is the Contessa?
Well, she'll be here in a few minutes. Will you follow me, please? Signore e signore, one of our special guests of the evening is with us now. I'm going to ask him to say a few words to you. It is therefore a privilege to present Mr. Simon Templar.
That's all right, I won't be singing. Signore, I know you're probably anxious to get at the refreshments, so I won't waste your time with the speech. Instead, I would like to show you a few tricks tonight, which might come in useful. Especially since I've learned that some of you are being victimized by ruthless extortionists, or shall I say, racketeers. Now, I'm sure you don't need Inspector Mattioli, who is with us tonight, to remind you that carrying concealed weapons is illegal. However, it is possible to protect oneself without the use of a gun or knife. One good judo hold is often worth far more than any weapon. Now, to demonstrate this technique, I will need a volunteer from the audience. Looks like that. Now, here we have a good-looking man. Should be able to take care of himself. Come on, sir, don't be shy. You never know when a judo hold might be useful to you. Now, for the first example, I want you to imagine that I'm a beggar. And you want something from me, like money. I say I'm not going to give it to you, so you decide to take a swing at me. Go ahead.
Baby.
Comfortable? Now, in this position, I can either break his arm or fracture his shoulder blade. Am I hurting you? I'm sure you can do better than that, amigo. Let's try it this time with a little more enthusiasm. Go on, take another swing. Now, where is she?
I'll kill you.
Now, for this example, let's pretend my back is to the volunteer, and he decides to take a kick at me. Go ahead and kick. Now, this is a very interesting hold. It was developed in 1860 by an old Japanese wrestler. It's called the Ashashingi Gatami. Now, the very nice thing about this hold is that if you struggle, you break your leg. If I lean back 2 inches, I tear out your hip joint. Where is she?
Let me go, huh?
I can easily say it was an accident. Where is she?
In room 110.
I do believe our volunteer has fainted. Would somebody like to fetch a doctor?
What did you do to him? What did you do to him?
Oh, little chiropractics. Now, come on, Inspector. We're going to search this police act without a warrant. She's been here, Inspector. She left this as a lead.
A chess piece? How can that tell you so much?
Mr. Templar, would you mind explaining what's going on here?
Teresa Montagna's been in this room. Now, come on, Elliot. Where is she?
He's absolutely mad. I suggest, Inspector, that you take Mr. Templar and his false accusations to the proper authorities.
I agree. Signor Templar, I arrest you on a charge of disturbing the peace.
Teresa. Teresa.
Hold it.
Things are a little different. Right, Templar?
We must get them out of here quickly.
In a minute, Maria, for this one. I want to try some judo on him first.
Oh, no, no, no. Later.
You don't look very surprised to see me, Mr. Templar. Fratelli.
Why should I be? Remember, Teresa, men like Elliot are often the last to recognize evil, no matter how close it is.
The girl first, Maria, and hurry. Before we deal with you, there's one thing I'd like to know.
Go right ahead.
When did you first suspect me?
Well, Teresa can tell you.
Wait. Well?
Go ahead, Teresa. Tell her when we first started to suspect her.
Does it really matter?
It matters to the Contessa. Because the longer we've known, the more time we've had to share the secret with a lot of people. It must have been at least 24 hours ago that we both agreed that Elliot was not our man. Because I remembered my chess. The queen is the most dangerous piece on the board, but the king the most vulnerable. You'd better start guessing, Contessa. We've had at least 24 hours to talk.
You're lying.
Am I? Elliot's not even in on this racket, is he?
Since it will go no further. No.
It's a nice, cozy arrangement. You just use his property. The hotel and this place.
Stephen Elliot will give me anything I ask for. I intend to see that his generosity continues. That is a soundproof room, part of an old Roman sewer. Nobody will ever see either of you again.
I beg to disagree. It may interest you to know that Inspector Mattioli is on his way here right now.
An old bluff like that doesn't frighten me, Mr. Templar. I have every reason to know that he is not even cooperating with you.
Oh, he's cooperating with me right down the line. Why, he even helped me fake my getaway from the albergo.
Hurry, Maria.
Mr. Templar, I hit him.
What were you aiming at?
I don't know. I wasn't looking.
Your Majesty, may I present Inspector Mattioli? Inspector Mattioli, the king of the beggars. Thank you, Marco. I'll take that now. Will you excuse us?